There are so many things in Minecraft that we simply forget about many of them. I'm going to help you remember them, or teach them if you didn't know about them. I'm Kasser, and these are 30 things that you should start doing in Minecraft. Number 1. You all know that water helps to avoid fall damage, but what about Nether? As we know, water cannot be spilled in this dimension. For some weird reason though, snow and powder snow doesn't melt here, which means you can clutch with it. And it looks way more stylish than just riding a boat down. How on earth am I supposed to get back up? Well, if you have a second bucket and some nether boots, you can pillar up by placing 2 blocks of it, picking the lower one up, and repeating. Just make sure not to crouch at any point, especially over lava. Number 2. While searching for something in the ocean, it's oftentimes hard to see underneath the surface. However, if you toggle into F5 mode while in a boat and slowly move your camera backwards, you can adjust it so that your view somehow removes all the murkiness illuminating the ocean floor for you to see. This is used by a lot of speed owners to locate an underwater stronghold, and you can do just the same thing. Number 3. The same thing works in lava and not just water. Building in lava can suck, especially if you don't know what's around you. But if you set up a slab on the bottom half of a block over a lava lake and slash yourself with fire resistance, you can pop underneath and see the entire lava floor without any blur or distortion. Number 4. Finding diamonds is hard, and no one wants to spend hours strip mining only for a couple of diamonds. But don't fear, because you can find diamonds super easily. All you need is a river and some clay. This is probably the coolest trick ever. If you find the clay patch in a river, congrats, because you just found diamonds. Simply locate the center of the patch, go 2 blocks positive in the Z direction, and just mine down 8 out of 10 times you will find a diamond vein. It's easy as that. Number 5. Most likely when you used an explosive potion, you threw it at your feet, but most likely you didn't know that in this way you got less time of the potion, and all because instead of throwing it at your feet, you need to throw it on top of your head. Then you'll get the most out of the potion. Number 6. When you're out in the end raiding cities, shulkers can actually get really annoying, especially as you get further up the buildings. So before heading into one, grab some chorus fruit. If you get hit by a bunch of pellets and end up floating high above the ground, eat some chorus right before you fall, and it'll teleport you back down without dealing damage. You have to do it with levitation active though. Number 7. Very small things in Minecraft are just as horrific as getting past the end, especially when you're in hardcore mode, and one small mistake can literally spell the end of the world. But don't worry, there is a very easy way to ease this fear. If you enter the accessibility menu, you can change the shift key to toggle shift. That way when you press it, it will stay shifted until you toggle it again, allowing you to hop across the end aisles without worrying about your fingers getting sore or falling off. Definitely super helpful. Number 8. Most likely you have faced the problem when you need to make an infinite source of water, but you only have 1 bucket of water and there is no water nearby. No problem, you can always use kelp. Just put water on top and kelp on bottom. Kelp will turn flowing water into source block and you can make an infinite source. Number 9. Spyglasses don't get anywhere near as much love as they should, and I think that's because of this annoying GUI that shows up when you use it. But if you hit F1, it'll completely remove it, giving you a clear zoom that's actually kind of powerful. Number 10. Eggs and snowballs no longer do damage in Minecraft, but one projectile still does damage: Ender pearls. What you may not know is that throwing a pearl at something actually hurts it, so if you're ever at the end and don't have a good way to take out the crystals, just kill a few endermen. You can throw pearls at crystals and explode them without taking much damage. Number 11. With the new extreme terrain generation, the snapshots of 1.18, and the even bigger ravines of 1.17, navigating caves is harder than ever. That being said, if you're ever on the edge of a cliff, here's a really easy way to get down. All need are some weeping vines and some bone meal. Simply place the vines and grow them all the way down. Now you have an easy elevator that goes both upwards and downwards into your cave. Much better than ladders, if I do say so myself. Number 12. Something important to note whenever you're playing Minecraft is to use the right tool for the job. If you aren't aware, pickaxes are used to mine, axes for wood and swords for killing. But something you might not know and want to keep in mind is using the wrong tool actually makes it lose twice as much durability. For example, if I kill this pig with a pickaxe, that pickaxe will lose 2 durability instead of the usual 1. So even though it is easier not to switch to a shovel on your mining, sometimes it's for the best. Number 13. On the topic of mining, let's look at another cheap trick. You may or may not know that if you set up a piston above a composter and push yourself in, you can locate the nearby caves. But that's not the end of it. You can actually do the same thing with gravel, which is much easier to find than the iron and redstone required for a piston. If you want a better use than just finding caves, you can locate the portal room of a stronghold this way, which will definitely save you a lot of time. Number 14. Chorus fruit don't seem like that good of a food source, but they're actually really useful. You see, chorus fruit will actually teleport you to the nearest solid block in an 8x8 area, or a random one, meaning if you're falling from a great height or even into a pool of lava, eating one of these will teleport you back to safety even if you do have to extinguish yourself after. So the next time you're in the end, grab some of these to keep handy at all times. Number 15. There's nothing worse than a long day of mining only for a creeper to suddenly erupt and make you lose all the stuff you've been carrying around. But these things can be super easy to kill if you know how, because explosion damage is calculated from distance to your feet. If you place a block in front of you as a creeper explodes, you can minimize the damage taken. These things barely pose a threat anymore. Number 16. If you're ever in the Nether and not in a rush, this trick could save you a lot of resources. We all know that Nether gold ore is pretty bountiful, however. If you want to make it more worth your time, just use Silk Touch. It may seem counterintuitive at first, but you can then go and smelt that ore in a furnace. Just like regular gold ore before 1.17, instead of getting some measly gold nuggets, you can get a full gold ingot for your troubles, saving you a ton of gold and a ton of time. Number 17. Let's talk about the desert temple trap. This thing can be a pain, especially if you just finish looting the temple and happen to trip over the pressure plate on accident. But there's no need to worry. If you're fast enough, all you need is a bucket of water. Just break the block where the pressure plate is, place water in the gap, and you'll take almost 0 damage from the remaining TNT. Number 18. We can take the previous tip one step further. Assuming you didn't accidentally set off the trap, you can actually use it to your advantage. For example, if you're speedrunning and find a desert temple, you can actually loot it in seconds, even with no items. Once you break your way down, break the block in the center and grab all the TNT. After that, just place 1 TNT in a corner of the chamber, light up the pressure plate, and hop back into the hole. Once you're in, you should be completely safe and enjoy as the TNT explodes all the chests around you, allowing you to loot all the treasure in seconds and take almost no damage in the process. Number 19. Buried treasure can sometimes be difficult to find. I mean, you think you're on the X, but you can't find the chest and suddenly there's water everywhere, and it's just not fun at all. Well, it's actually super easy to find the chest if you open up the F3 menu and locate the chunk section. Look at the coordinates within the chunk. The chest always generates at 9, 9. Using this, you can locate the chest hassle-free every single time and enjoy the treasure with no trouble. Number 20. Moving villagers can suck. These guys always seem like they don't want to cooperate with you. And who wants a mending book when it will cost you 5 hours of time maneuvering from around? But as per usual, it doesn't have to be this hard. If your villager has a fashion, he'll follow you temporarily whenever you open his trade interface. Using this, you can actually get him to follow you through hallways and even up staircases. I really wish I'd done this earlier. It's really easy to do and can save a lot of time. Number 21. Have you ever built something high up and then realized you wanted to build a lighter down but you have no water? Well, perfect, because there's another way to do that and it's pretty easy. All you need is 2 trapdoors. If you go a block out and place a trapdoor on the bottom half of the new block, and then place another trapdoor on the top half of the old block, you can then get right on the edge and go into crawl mode. While you're there, shift right clicking on the top of the upper half trapdoor will place a block below it, allowing you to staircase or build downwards. Once you're done that, just remove the trapdoors and repeat to your heart's content. Number 22. At the beginning of the game, you may not have much coal, and instead of putting it in the furnace, just make a campfire and fry food on it. It has infinite fuel and fries any food that can be cooked in the furnace. Number 23. Trapdoors are super useful, and they have even more potential benefits. If you place them facing inwards as walls, you can make an animal pen that mobs can hop into, but for some reason they can't hop out of. It's a strange and cool feature. Plus it has no effect on you, so this could be your new pen if you want. Number 24. If you're making a map of your base and want to show it off or just make it look nicer, consider this. If you rename a banner in an anvil and then place it down, right-clicking on the banner with the map will make a visible waypoint with whatever name you chose appear. Now you can label your world to make it easier to navigate or locate things. Number 25. It's pretty easy to get lost in the mines. To avoid getting lost and losing all your stuff, always place torches on the same side. Also use double torches when at junction, and when you need to go home, just follow the torches on the left to find your way back to home. Number 26. Soul Sand water elevators require every single piece of water to be a source block, so to save tons of time, try just placing a piece of kelp at the bottom and bone mealing it. When you break the kelp, all of the water will instantly be turned to a source. Number 27. Are you trying to find the perfect spot in creative mode, but you are flying too slowly? If you go into spectator mode and then spin the wheel, you can change the speed very easily. Number 28. If you enchant a hoe or any other tool with Fortune 3, you'll get way more crops when you harvest your farms. Instead of an average of about 4 carrots per crop, you'll get about 5.5 with Fortune, as well as tons more seeds from wheat, and the hoe will not break. Number 29. Instead of spending ages converting all your concrete powder to concrete before building, just build any walls or floors out of the powder and flood it afterwards. And if you're ever left with a ton of wet sponges for whatever reason, don't dry them in a furnace. Instead, take them to the Nether where they'll dry out instantly in the heat. Then you can use an enchanted hoe to pick them up super fast. Number 30. Let's say you pillared upwards and finished your new flagpole, but you suddenly realized you have no water bucket to get back down, and breaking your newly built pole is not an option. Well, don't fear. Using honey blocks, TNT, or really any block but those work best, you can descend any structure by placing and breaking them over and over. Because they both destroy instantly, this works really easily and can help you a lot if you don't want to spend that much time going down, and it's safer than an MLG in the first place. Those were 30 Minecraft things you should start doing. Thanks to the first sponsor Sue Bell for supporting the channel. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe because 0.8% watch my videos with a subscription. Thanks for watching. Bye.